I want to talk about time machines. Now, there's so many things I could talk about with time machines. I mean, you've seen movies where there are time machines, time lapses, time escapes off to another dimension. But where there is now, there is the future and there is the past. And time, related to Saturn. Saturn is time and how will you use it. The god of time. Because time can be finite, but time can also give you a lot of opportunity. How well are you going to use it? Are you going to take advantage and go for the horns, or are you going to stay inside your house and not take advantage of what is calling you? There's a 3 lottery in Dale outside. Go there and catch the rain to then be able to throw it over the fence, and you have your grandiose opportunity fulfilled. Because of the fact that you took advantage of the time that was given to you. You owed every in and out to make sure that everything was fulfilled and checked down. Down tight, put the tie down, make sure that everything is shipshape. Because only then you can lift off your balloon. And then you want to aim your gun at your target fighting in a war. Timing is so crucial. Because you could aim and get it, or you could miss it. Time on a timer, time on a clock, time on a cell phone. It's 2:39. And I apparently need to have more adventure because it's 2:39 right now. In a moment, I'm going to have to take care of some responsibility with what I'm talking about, but for right now, I'm just going to go off. So, the Time, New York Times Magazine clearly says that time is precious, don't waste it. That's what it said. It was a big headline. And it said it for a reason. Because there's been so many instances through history which has proven things gone up, things gone down, things have been a success, things been a fail due to time. Look at the Titanic. It hitting the iceberg, not backing out of sight, not backing out of the clearing, and hitting the iceberg. It was too late, and then everybody went under because of that. Because we were not managing time well. We were not escaping the situation while you still could escape the situation. You had a window and you didn't open the window. You had a door and you didn't open the door. And now the portal's closed. Like, I was seeing a movie called Halloween Town, and there was the second film, the intermission. Then the second part of the film happened. And when they were trying to defeat Cromwell, they had a limited window to the portal because of some type of plot line that they were doing. And they were late and they were trapped into that other world and they couldn't get back out. But they found a way to open that portal and defeat the enemy. There's also things that stand the test of time. Don't forget that. A novel stands the test of time. A movie stands the test of time. That has been there, famous, a classic, and it still is famous, and it still is a classic. So these types of things are really, really crucial, because they dictate a lot. And to take advantage of opportunities, then we need to be in the present moment. Because in the present moment, there's so many things that can happen in the present moment. It is a gift from God in this present moment. A gift. What can you do with what there is? There's no sense in being anything but practical. We live in Earth. It doesn't matter if we're in the Earth paradigm, which lasts 200 years. We're on Earth. We all have a purpose. We're all here to serve, make a difference, and be practical. It is also practical not to be just practical. It is also practical to have fun, to express your emotions, to nurture others, to communicate, to write, to share your story, to write your own story in your life, to go to parties, to go to music, to go to dance, to watch a movie, to, make a TED Talk in front of an audience, to go out and have fun, to take a risk, to go on a roller coaster, to dance, to become a major dance instructor, to go on the movies and be an actor and climb the ladder up to fame. All those fiery traits, all of the air, all of the water, that's all practical too, as well as Earth. And you do all of those things, including Earth, with Earth. Doesn't matter if your North Node is an Earth, or South Node is an Earth. The collective North Node for the world is Earth. So, right now as I'm speaking, the North Node is in an Earth sign. It's in Taurus. And in order to attain that great goal that we want, then we need to get serious about it. We need to get real about it. And things take time. Things take time to get those results. But I'm not here to talk about goals. I'm kind of beating around the bush. Let me get to the point. The point is that there was this film called The Time Machine, of where fast forward through the whole history of the world. Let's see, what is the history of the world, first of all? Well, we started off with the primal, warrior, creatures. We started off with them. From the hominids. We came to the first human beings, and we started off with hunter-gatherers and the hominids and Stone Age tools and all that business. Mesopotamia became a civilization. Iraq is its modern name. We had Egypt, we had Kush, we had India, China, Greece, Rome. We then had the falling out of Rome, and then into the Middle Ages. And then we had the Dark Ages, the bubonic plague, trade, spread, commerce, Ghana, civilizations, all those types of things happened. We had the spread of Islam, the Silk Road, all that stuff happened with that. We then had the Renaissance, the Reformation, the Scientific Revolution, the Enlightenment, the Age of Exploration, where the Europeans came over to America and offered their ways of living and their food, tools, cattle, all those things, but also diseases as well. We then had the political revolutions, the American Revolution, the French Revolution, the Industrial Revolution, the Age of Imperialism, World War I, the Great Depression after the Roaring Twenties, World War II. We then had the Cold War, the Vietnam War, and we had the 80s, the Berlin Wall stuff that happened. And at the beginning of the 21st century, 2001, on September 11th, we know what happened that tragic day. So that's the whole history of the world. And we are all in advanced civilization. We've advanced over time. But what will happen in the future? You know, it's so stereotypical for the future to be this land of flying cars and robots and, you know, everyone's vision for the future that can happen. But what if it all ends up in smoke? What if a world decides to be built, a civilization where humanity can thrive again after the supposed killing of all of the aberrations? But then when we come out of that building in 4017, 4015, something along those lines, we step out and the aberrations are still alive and still out there as a threat. And humans have killed other humans. Maybe it's a genetic disease that went around and turned humans into monsters. Or maybe an ice age happened and all civilization just vanished and then was reborn again. To a place where the youngest people are the safest people. The oldest people look out. Where everything is orange and colored like a sunset. Golden color orange. So it'd be called. Now, for this time, you've gone through the portal. Now, there's another scene in Halloween Town where they do go through a time machine throughout the years, traveling through time and landing up in these different locations. Where you're ending up here, you're ending up there, as a sort of stepping stone of building blocks. Maybe you started here, maybe you started there, or the transformation, the change, the evolution or de-evolution over time. Linear. From now onwards, or in the Christmas Carol, when Scrooge visited the past, present, and future. Looking at the past, all things related to the past, all the stuff that went on, which I don't need to disclose to you now, saw shadows of the past. Where he was stuck in the school during Christmas, of where he didn't recognize what his sister did for him getting him out of the school and returning him back home, because his father's hard lumber mannerisms and just way about him got the better of him and impacted Scrooge in a bad way. Over a bad parent, a bad teacher, can really, really turn the student and the adult into somebody very, very bad, to very, very, varying degrees and varying types and varieties. And so, when talking about the past, let's not try to get so caught in the past. We can go visit the past, but let's live here and now. Let's live in the moment. Well, let's talk about being in the moment. Very popular LA, California thing is being in the moment. Not going into those ghost lands. Seeing all of the figurines and all of the shadows and pictures of the past. Dive down deep into her sound, but not too far or you'll be drowned. Let the past be in the past. Let the scroll be locked away in a filing cabinet. Let that real case of what happened to all those kids that were experimented on in the 50s be put away, stored away. Nobody must know what Luke did that was so bad that could get him sent off the island of Sodor. Spoilers, knocking an engine off into the water. When I saw that movie, I was kind of underwhelmed. But so, recall that Scrooge saw the images of the past, but he could not interact with those people. He couldn't interact with them. He couldn't communicate. He couldn't reach out his hand and have a reunion. Why? Because he was invisible. He was invisible. He couldn't be seen or heard because it's coming from the future, and you don't know what the future is going to be. It could change. Fast forward to the Ghost of Christmas Future. Lips are sealed. You couldn't talk because the future is independent. You can control it. It could change. An independent variable is something you can control independently. The dependent variable depends upon the independent variable. And I say that not only in scientific terms, but also in life terms in general. And so, somebody from 1400 coming to a life of 1600, they are going to be different. Let's just get that up front. But what difference can they make? What impact can they make on the world? What change can they make? Or somebody from the future coming into the past. These are all the mistakes that you did, and I'm here to come fix it. I'm here to make it different. Well, the pity is that there's no time machine. If there was a time machine, if you could go out to a store and buy a time machine, if you could go to an auction on a beautiful day in May, let's say, and I could raise my hand up and I could bid money for a time machine, guess how many people would be so aggressive to bid money for that? If I had a time machine, I would go back and I would be extra careful about touching my computer, extra careful about the videos that I watch and the videos that I make. Point is, you have motives, you have reasons, you have beliefs, feelings, thoughts, intentions for why you want to do something at this time. That was you then, not now. And things that were wrong could be a matter of perspective. I mean, there's definite wrongs that we can all agree upon. And I spoke about this before. But imagine the possibilities. Imagine what we could do if we could go back and change what we could. But we can't. Do-over Diavolo. It will be so spicy, and you know how to, because it's going to be this broken record. It's going to be this round the hamster wheel over and over and over and over and over again. Repeating the past, repeating that day over and over again. And how do you cure it? By defeating the purpose. By making the mistakes, which were not mistakes, by the way. Because it is a mistake to try to repeat what has already been done, because you will not stop the recipe from working. Stop the spell from going, unless you just repeat what you did and let it lie. Moving on. And I mean, I've been so aware, I've been so mindful that nothing that I did, not only did not it hurt my computer, it did, let's check that off the list, but it didn't drain any power from the computer that cannot be recharged and re-brought back. Generators can be repowered. When you have a computer and you use the battery out of it, you can charge it, and then you have the battery again. There's no impact that's going to be there long term. It's just energy used that can be energy put back. And there's some things that I need to affirm to myself. There's some inabundant feelings that are still there. But so, sort of move away from that little window that you're looking at. And notice that little window is a shadow. That you can fly on your bird, that you can rise up into the sky and notice that shadow. Notice what happened. Notice that event. Notice that situation, whatever it was, as it fades away. It doesn't matter. It's just a thought going through your head. It's just something that happened. So what had happened? You may have messed up. You may have screwed up or done something. But again, I was mindful. I was conscious and aware of what I was doing. And I didn't do anything. We live and we learn. Nothing is perfect. There's several things you can go back and you can evaluate. That you did right and that you did wrong. Things that you could take out of the salad. Take out of the salad that you made. Certain ingredients you put in. Oh, I don't like that. I'm to fish it out. I mean, all or none. I mean, I don't want to make something to where I have to pick out the parts I don't like. No. I want to be able to like and eat it all. Unless it's separate from that thing. Unless you are making dinner and you make... I really don't like eggs. I really don't like it. So you have eggs and then you have some Mexican rice. Oh, well, I'll have the rice. I won't have the eggs with it. Because I don't like the runny yolks. I don't like the flavor and taste and smell of eggs. But those two things are separate from each other. You can combine them, but they're separate from each other. Some things are more difficult to separate from events than others. And know this as well. When you're putting a bay leaf into a dish, always leave it whole. Never, ever chop it up. Never do that. Because even the chopped up bits can get in your throat and you don't want to find out the results of how that happened. Leave it whole. Go through the dish, fish it out. Throw it away, dispose of it. Be gone. Be gone, bay leaf that gave flavor but is harmful to eat. And the dish has flavor. And you can certainly do that with that kind of thing. But in terms of time order, now there's certain things you can go back into the past and redo, and rearrange and restructure, but then the past is in the past. Letting it fall away. Leaving it behind. Of what doors closing and of what doors opening. That's important. So, thank you for listening.